It's South Carolina taking on East Carolina. Dylan Thompson getting the start today in place of Connor Shaw. Will Shaw get some action? We shall see. We will see you at the C Spire halftime report. We now send it out to Dave Neal and Andre Ware on the call. Guys?
Columbia, South Carolina, a warm, muggy afternoon here at Williams-Brice Stadium. The 9th-ranked Gamecocks open up their 2012 home schedule against the East Carolina Pirates out of Conference USA, and it should be a fantastic football game today. There are few places in the country that enjoy their football like here in Columbia, South Carolina. One of the grand entrances in college football. We will come to the booth. Dave Neal alongside my partner Andre Ware. And Andre, as we get ready for this one, obviously the South Carolina football team coming off 11-win season a year ago. High expectations. Is this a club that can win an SEC championship?
I think so. Defensively, they're as talented as any team in the entire SEC. And they've got a couple of defensive ends that can come after you. Devin Taylor and Jadeveon Clowney. He was one of the #1 recruits in the entire country a couple of years ago. That's where it starts for South Carolina. Then you talk about the running game and Marcus Lattimore. Boy, you have got a good, solid football team and foundation.
One of the great entrances in all of college football. That doesn't get you going.
I'm ready to run through the smoke. Let's go hit somebody, do something.
We'll have 80,000 on hand here inside Williams-Brice Stadium as the Gamecocks and the Pirates getting set to come your way right here on the SEC Network. Now, obviously, anytime Steve Spurrier is involved, quarterbacks are a topic, but this week even more so for the Gamecocks because Connor Shaw, the starter, was hurt Thursday night, a week ago, Thursday night in Nashville. He doesn't look like he's ready to go, which means there could be a change of quarterback.
Now, I got a chance to see him during warm-ups, and he looked like he was a little bit restricted. The throwing motion, the arm strength just wasn't there, kind of grimacing with every throw. Maybe just not even really warming up, just kind of lobbing passes. Threw a few actually with his left hand, but I wouldn't be surprised if O'Connor doesn't find his way into the football game. Dylan Thompson, though, will get the start today. He's a bag of nerves right now, Dave, and the way you kind of corral those and use them to your advantage, a couple of early completions, and that'll get a throwing quarterback going.
Dylan was 0 for 3 with a couple of sacks on Thursday in Nashville. However, he does have big number 21 in the backfield. Always an asset to have him. He looks like he's back over 100 yards against the Commodores.
Yeah, he looks like his old self again, making cuts. They use him on speed sweeps. They like to get him downhill. Marcus Lattimore is as good as there is in the entire country. They struggled a little bit offensively last week. Look at those numbers. He carried the Gamecocks, put them on his back, and they finally won the football game against Vanderbilt. A tough test. They'll have another one today today, and he'll be relied upon again.
Yeah, this East Carolina team, no pushover. They win their opener against Appalachian State at home. But the last 3 times they've been to Columbia, they have walked out of here with a victory. So East Carolina knows what it takes to win here in a hostile environment. Now back to the quarterbacks. For more on that, let's go down and check in with the third member of our team, Kara Capuano, who's down on the sidelines.
Well, guys, Gamecocks head coach Steve Spurrier told us yesterday that Dylan Thompson has great potential. He has an arm and can make all the throws. However, the key is going to be building his confidence by having success with some early completions in the game. Spoke not long ago to quarterbacks coach G.A. Mangus. He told me that Thompson is very similar in work ethic and preparation to Connor Shaw. But Andre, as you know, the difference for a quarterback is live reps. Thompson had a chance to practice all week, take snaps with the #1 team, but will it show up today in the game?
Well, Dave, you know as well as I that you cannot simulate game speed in a practice setting. And Dylan Thompson's going to see it coming full speed and a lot faster than he has in a couple of practice settings. So it's how he adjusts early in this football game and will lead to the success of South Carolina offensively.
Steve Spurrier told Kara when he got to the ballpark today that they did their little Gamecock walk to the stadium. One of the first things he told Kara was how excited the fan base was, even though it's not a conference game. He felt like the fans were into this one, ready to get this home schedule started here in 2012. High expectations for South Carolina once again after an 11-win season back in 2011, the best year they have ever had in terms of wins and losses here for the Gamecocks. We are underway as South Carolina won the toss. They accepted the football, so Andre will give us a chance to look at the impact players for the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Yeah, certainly Marcus Lattimore. I think he's going to be extremely important today in that running game. Ace Sanders, if they're going to throw the football with success, he's got to get himself going. Two of the best defensive ends in the entire country, Devin Taylor and Jadeveon Clowney, exceptional athletes.
There is Dylan Thompson, the sophomore out of Boiling Springs, South Carolina. 6'3", 210-pounder. Line up in an I formation from the 25-yard line. First down and 10.
Now, this is already unusual. Last week in their opener, I don't know if they lined up in that formation at all.
First pass, complete. I'd say incomplete at the 34-yard line. Looking for Ace Sanders, throw a little bit low for Dylan Thompson. Adonis Armstrong on the coverage.
Yeah, a little shift there. And mentioning it again, Dave, watching film of South Carolina last week, they were more of the zone read, spread option out of the shotgun. Not one time did I see him line up in the I formation where Lattimore had so much success in 2010.
There's a little speed sweep using Bruce Ellington. He turns the corner, gets a block, first down to the 40-yard line. Well, Coach Spurrier wasn't kidding when he said we'd see a lot of those speed sweeps. And on play number 2, South Carolina picks up 16.
Yeah, got to make Marcus Lattimore a little bit nervous, though. This is how he got hurt last year, blocking on a speed sweep to Bruce Ellington. Look at the block here by Lattimore. I mean, just enough to get a piece of a defender to allow Ellington to get the first down.
So from the 41, fresh set of downs for South Carolina. Thompson has plenty of time, going deep, nice tight spiral, but overthrows everybody.
That's okay. That's what you have to do. Get it out of your system. I'd like to just rear back, put everybody in 9 routes, send them down the field, and just sling it as far as I could to settle in the first couple of plays of a game. That's just fine by me, by Dylan Thompson. Get the young man settled in, and then all of a sudden, you kind of remember how to do it again. And the stage isn't too big for you.
It's East Carolina. Team coming off a win against Appalachian State in their opener. Got off to a slow start. Now they got it cranked up. Speaking of cranked up, here is Thompson. He cranks it up to Demir Bird. First and goal, South Carolina.
That's it. That's it right there. Just a straight 9 route, straight streak down the sideline. Tried it before, and Damiere Byrd gets behind Adonis Armstrong, the corner to that side, and I'm telling you what, in stride with the football is Dylan Thompson.
A gain of 53. First and goal from the 6. Couple of tight ends for South Carolina. Here's Lattimore, cuts it back inside, bulls his way into the end zone, and that didn't take very long. From 6 yards out, Marcus Lattimore adds another to his touchdown total. He now ties a school record with his 33rd touchdown of his career.
You know what being injured does, Dave? It allows a guy to come in the football game and perform. And all of a sudden, Dylan Thompson might actually give Steve Spurrier a little bit of that old stuff that he used to like to do in the fun and gun, being able to throw it around a little bit. Never wanted to get injured.
Adam Yates to attempt the point after. He does so. And South Carolina leads 7-0. Well, Dylan Thompson incomplete on his first pass, then aired it out on his second. His third was a beaut for 53 yards. That set up the Marcus Lattimore 6-yard touchdown run. South Carolina out front, 7-0. Back in Columbia, where Dylan Thompson getting his first start. Throws a 53-yard pass to Damiere Byrd and set up a touchdown run from Marcus Lattimore, and South Carolina out front 7-0.
Let's go back and take a look at the touchdown. And it's just, you see the safety down here and the other safety here on this on the far hash mark. This takes eyes to hold the backside safety and then let it rip. And this isn't an easy throw from the far hash, but he drops it right on Damiere Byrd's outside shoulder away from Adonis Armstrong. It led to the Marcus Lattimore touchdown run. And I'll tell you what, that's a lot of confidence going forward in a young man, Dylan Thompson, making his first start by this South Carolina coaching staff.
Well, Steve Spurrier giving the young sophomore a chance to sling it around a little bit, as he likes to say.
You know, I was saying before we went to break, you know, you never want to get injured, certainly, because the next guy coming in might look a little bit better than you look. And Dylan Thompson seems to have gotten himself comfortable early in this football game.
And you know, here's the reality of it all, is that Connor Shaw's a guy that's going to run all year. I mean, who's to say he's not going to take a few more shots, and you might need a guy like Dylan Thompson on the ready.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So the Gamecocks will kick it away. Landon Ard, the freshman out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, will have the honors for the Gamecocks. That'll settle in inside the 5-yard line. Lance Ray, who had a 90-yard return, laterals it off, and East Carolina picks up a few extra yards. A dangerous play by Lance Ray, but it will amount to a 17-yard return. Take a look at East Carolina impact players, and Rio Johnson is a guy certainly a lot of attention focused on this new starter.
Yeah, they're going to sling it around a little bit, and he is the guy in the passing game. He looks comfortable. First-year starter himself that can really lead this East Carolina offense. And Jeremy Grove, he's the guy that defensively for East Carolina is going to have the assignment of trying to limit Marcus Lattimore.
Reggie Bullock will line up in the backfield alongside Rio Johnson out of Atlanta, Georgia. Here comes some pressure right away. First pass behind the intended receiver, Reese Wiggins. And already Rio Johnson was introduced to a couple of garnet jerseys.
Yeah, pressure in the face of Rio Johnson. Get settled in and get used to it, because when you show certain formations, South Carolina, if they are going to come after Shaq Wilson with pressure already in the face of Rio Johnson.
Second down at 10. He'll throw it again. This time he does hit Wiggins, and he breaks free and gets the first down out over the 30 to the 31-yard line. A gain of 12 on the play.
Yeah, working against Victor Hampton. He gave him an inside move after a little hitch on the outside, a 3-and-1 set with the receiver on the backside. And Hampton is actually South Carolina's best cover man.
Quick pass to the far side. That was nearly picked off. Justin Hardy with the reception picks up 6, but Devontae Holloman looked like he almost had a pick 6.
Let me tell you something about Justin Hardy. When I watch film on East Carolina, that's the guy that flashes right there, and you see why. Exceptional athlete who's just a sophomore. He could give South Carolina fits all afternoon.
64 grabs a year ago for the sophomore receiver.
He had 6 receptions last week and a touchdown catch.
That pistol formation. Ball handed off. Left side. Michael Dobson will get just a yard against that front 4 of South Carolina. Well, this defense for South Carolina can be nasty.
You see Devin Taylor there, Jadavian Clowney. They go 6'8" and 6'6" at defensive end, and you're talking about fantastic athletes.
Reggie Bullock back in the game. In the backfield. Along with Dobson. Johnson will split his 2 tailbacks on 3rd down. Pass is batted away at the last moment. It'll be incomplete.
Yeah, Jimmy LeGray, the junior, has really gotten better. Talking to the defensive coaches and defensive coordinator Lorenzo Ward at tackling in space. When you face a lot of spread option teams and passing teams, you're out there by yourself at corner, and you're going to have to make those tackles in space, and he has improved in that department.
So the first punt of the day for Trent Tigner. Ace Sanders back to return. He stands at about the 25-yard line. Tigner averaged 44.5 yards on 4 punts.
A good punt.
That will hit at the 6 and spin back and be down at the 9-yard line. Nice job by the East Carolina special teams. A 53-yard kick with no return. Gamecock offense back on the field when we come back. 7-0 South Carolina leads East Carolina. 11:52 to go in the opening quarter. Now make sure you join us at halftime as we announce this week's winner of the Honda Generators Tailgate Giveaway. Each week we'll be awarding a brand new EU 2000i generator for the fan with the best tailgate. Simply send us video or picture showing how you tailgate for your chance to win. Log on to ESPNplus.com for more details on how to enter. And let me tell you something, folks. They have new tailgating areas around Williams-Brice Stadium that are absolutely fantastic. You want to talk about fan-friendly ballpark? You got one right here at Williams-Brice.
Yeah, everybody's up close and right there, and great tailgating.
Lattimore will get it out over the 10. Pick up 4 yards. Kyle Tudor, one of those linebackers, brings him down. Junior out of Augusta, Georgia.
He can really run with some thump. 6 foot, about 220 pounds. You get him coming downhill, he could make it a long afternoon for a defense.
2nd down and 6. Lattimore putting up 23 carries, 110 yards, and a couple of TDs in the opener. The I formation. Lattimore stumbles coming out of his cut. Picked up 3 more, so should bring up about a 3rd down and 3, maybe 3.5.
Well, I had him at the top of my 5 most explosive players for 2012. Last week we saw Jarvis Jones of Georgia. This week Marcus Lattimore. I think he is just a playmaker. Guy that's that big, that physical, but can hit the home run on you at any moment.
Couple of tight ends. They'll hand it off to Lattimore. Didn't get it. Maybe a half a yard. Needed 3.5. Leonard Paulk steps up to make the play for the Pirates, and that'll bring up a punting situation for the Gamecocks.
And I think a nice job of taking care of the football. You don't want to put Dylan Thompson in a situation where you turn it over this far into your own end of the field, and then all of a sudden East Carolina's looking at easy points. Run the football, try to make something happen with Marcus Lattimore, and who says that punting the football is the worst thing you can do?
Drew Bodenheimer back to return. This could be good field position for the Pirates. Fair catch called for and then dropped. I think East Carolina fell on it right away. 33-yard punt, one of those short kicks.
Let's talk a little bit about this East Carolina offense. Watching some film on them, notice that they like to go to this play. One particular look, you see the 3-receiver side, and they'll get to the smash route out of this. 3rd down and 6, the inside receiver to the corner, underneath by the outside slot, and then the hitch route on the outside. Easy read for the quarterback. Corner drops off, just check it down to the outside receiver. Same here, far hash mark, 3 receivers, inside one going to the corner, underneath by the outside, and then the hitch route on the outside. This is their money play. When they really need something, this is the look that they'll go to. Trips again, but that's where you'll see them in 3rd down and medium especially.
Try to set up a little screen. It's Bullock. He's close to the 40. About a yard shy of the 1st down. Give him 9 on the play. And there's a little bit of that screen game that we thought we would see with so much pressure coming from South Carolina.
Yeah, Reggie Bullock is back number 2, and last week averaged just under 4 yards a carry. Had a couple of receptions last week. Didn't go for much, but it was just getting him the football in space.
2nd down and short. Over the middle, wide open at the 30, 1st down catch by Bodenheimer. That's a gain of 10 down to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Bodenheimer's kind of the team's possession type receiver, little slant route, and waiting till the 2nd window's Rio Johnson, where it really opens up for him to slide the football right in there to Bodenheimer.
Pressure comes. Johnson overthrows his target, Derek Harris. Rio now 4 out of 7 here in the opening quarter. Well, today's 1st and 10 line brought to you by your local Toyota dealers.
One thing, Dave, about Rio Johnson that you notice, he's a rhythm passer. And when he can get himself in rhythm and complete a couple in a row, then you're in trouble because he gets the hot hand like a shooting guard for a basketball team. He can light it up if he gets streaky.
2nd down and 10. Swing it to the far side. And Tavius Cooper's popped out of bounds by Jimmy Legree. Only a couple on that play.
We're talking about Johnson. This is the amount of receivers that caught passes from him last week. Reese Wiggins, of course, and then Justin Hardy caught his 6. He spreads the football around where defensively you have to play everybody sideline to sideline because any receiver could have a big game.
3rd down. A little too much zip on it by Johnson off the fingertips of Danny Webster, and see if Ruffin McNeil will bring out his kicking unit, and he will do so.
Well, Lorenzo Ward said 3rd downs and long, you can just about guarantee that he is going to dial up pressure. And any down and distance for 2nd and long, 3rd and long, here they come. And it's going to force Rio Johnson to make quick decisions, get the football out. And there's South Carolina. They win on 3rd down.
46-yard field goal from Warren Harvey on the way. So he was 0 for 2 in the opener, and the start of this season not going very well for Warren. He's now 0 for 3. He has missed from 51, 46, and 35. There is Ruffin McNeil now in his 3rd year back at his alma mater where he grew up playing some college football. Of course, a lot of people remember him as the guy that took over from Mike Leach at Texas Tech on an interim basis a few years back. That's the offense he brought with him here, but just a joy to spend some time with. And there's a look at old Ruffin back in the day. The old neck rolls. Don't see those anymore, do you, Dre?
I tell you what, you don't. And not on a defensive back especially, but I thought he did a heck of a job holding things together at Texas Tech during that bowl game.
Bruce Ellington out over midfield. 22 more yards.
The chance of Bruce here in the stadium, and I tell you what, Dylan Thompson has gotten himself hot. Damon. The guys in the safety there gets himself beaten.
Over the middle. Rory Anderson, the tight end, another 17 yards.
You think they're going to line up and just run the football? Dylan Thompson's hand is hot. They're going right in the middle, right in the heart of that two-deep zone look of East Carolina's.
So Thompson, 3 out of 5, 92 yards. And a whistle.
All-star offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, a little antsy, Justin Cunningham, big senior tight end. Excuse me, Jarrell. Oh, I'm not right. Justin Cunningham. They got some big guys at tight end. Jarrell Adams, who's just a freshman, expecting to see him today. 6'6", 224. Cunningham himself checks in about 6'4", 260. Big tight ends.
Little play action. Over the middle again. There's Ellington dancing around inside the 20. Big collision at the 19. Everybody pops up. First down. 18 more yards.
I think Dylan Thompson's feeling it. You see it there from his demeanor. Nice play action from the I formation. Safeties almost right on top of one another, and there's a void right in the middle of the field that Steve Spurrier has identified, and he is taking advantage of it.
In the slot to the top of the screen, but they'll hand it off for Kenny Miles. Miles inside the 10, 12 more yards, and that'll set up a 1st and goal, South Carolina.
Yeah, Miles is a good changeup to Marcus Lattimore, who's the power but can't hit the home run. Miles, look at that hole right there. Nice block by A.J. Kahn, the left guard, that clears it out for Miles. 5'9", 193. Excellent changeup from the big, powerful back of Lattimore.
Steve Spurrier wants a timeout. Didn't like the way this offense was set up. He storms onto the field.
South Carolina.
But he can't be too displeased with the way things have gone. These are like old days, slinging it around.
Is he ever happy? I mean, you know, you get him away from between the white lines, and he's happy a little bit. But let's take a look at Dylan Thompson. The first pass, little curl route to the left. He underthrows that one a little bit. Still a little antsy going deep on this one. But then he settles in and throws an absolute strike to Demir Bird. Outside shoulder, right where it needs to be placed. This drive, right past the safety there in the middle of the field. He comes right back again to Rory Anderson. I think he's got his feet set now, Dave. His footing's under him, and he is in rhythm.
4 straight completions.
You know, I like his body language. You know, you can tell when a guy's a little bit intimidated by the environment or what the game itself. Dylan Thompson seems to. I like the swag that he's playing with right now.
Couple of tight ends. Power set to the right. Will go that way. Roll out. Passes. Going to be a touchdown to Rory Anderson, the tight end, from 7 yards away. South Carolina's offense doesn't look like anything like we saw 10 days ago in Nashville.
I tell you, he gives them the ability to spread the football around in the passing game, which they didn't have in week 1 against Vanderbilt. And then you add that with a mix it with Lattimore and then Kenny Miles in the running game. You got something special.
Point after is up and good. Dylan Thompson, a little bit like Danny Werfel. Okay, that might be a stretch, but nonetheless, he is looking good. 4 of his last 4 for 65 yards and a TD on that last drive. Nothing. South Carolina over East Carolina. 5:54 to go in the opening quarter. We've got a doubleheader coming your way right here on the SEC Network. And after this one, many of you will head out to Tuscaloosa as they welcome Western Kentucky. Alabama coming off that thrashing of Michigan on the opening weekend, 41-14. And did you see any weakness at all with the Tide?
I didn't know. I didn't think. Actually, no, I didn't. And I didn't think it was possible that they could be as good or maybe better than last year's football team. But Nick Saban has done an outstanding job of recruiting and just replacing players from year to year. Defensively, they look every bit as fast as last year's defense. And that was a special proof.
Landon Ard with the kickoff. That'll sail into the end zone. And, of course, the new rules will bring it out to the 25-yard line.
Getting in a situation where for East Carolina you have to have something happen. How do you do it? A couple of easy passes for Rio Johnson to get him going. Maybe Michael Dobson back in the game, try to go some running game and mix it up, getting South Carolina spread out. But they've got to have some success in one of those departments, either running the football or slinging it around, because you can't punt the football here and have South Carolina go down and get points. It is an abandonment. You have to abandon the game plan at that point going forward.
Reggie Bullock stands to the right of Rio Johnson. Play fake. Ball in the air, and that'll fall harmlessly to the ground. Looking for Bodenheimer, and that'll bring up second down and 10. And this is where Lorenzo Ward, the defensive coordinator in South Carolina, was telling us that 99% of the teams will generally, after an incompletion on first down, will run it on second down. But that's not the case with a team like East Carolina.
No, because they're not afraid to throw the football. You know, they're in one of those running type formations right now, and as he checks to something else to get out of it, they want to have success on second down.
Over the middle. Would have been an outstanding grab. Justin Jones couldn't hang on to it.
Justin Jones, he's an interesting story. Conyers, Georgia. You see him here trying to stretch for a football. I didn't know it was possible to overthrow a guy 6'8", about 260, and can run and make plays. He is a great athlete. Kind of reminds you a little bit of Jimmy Graham for the New Orleans Saints. East Carolina, 7 straight passes, and that's becoming one-dimensional in a hurry.
Third down and 10. Johnson throws on the run. Hits the man we were just talking about, Justin Jones. He gets maybe 9.5 yards. Bryson Williams brings him down, but that's inside of a yard shy of the first down.
Don't be surprised if you don't see Bryson Williams at some point in this football game around the line of scrimmage and blitzing. They'd love to bring him from the secondary.
Ruffin McNeil gave it a thought to go for it, but backed up.
I think it's a good decision. Punt the football. You're at your own 35-yard line. You don't make it, you're basically guaranteeing all the momentum to South Carolina and points to go along with it.
Ace Sanders back to return the punt. Digner gets off another good tight spiral. Sanders takes it at the 20. And he is knocked out of bounds. We'll spot it at the 33-yard line, a 45-yard punt. We'll catch one of the premier bowl games featuring the SEC taking on the Big East in the BBVA Compass Bowl on January 5th. For more information, visit bbvacompassbowl.com today. Good look at Williams-Brice Stadium.
Oh, it is a packed house. You talk about a crowd that was ready to have a home football game. Getting out around town, having dinner. It is, that's all you hear about. You can't wait till Saturday. Thompson now, after missing on his first 2, he's hit 5 in a row, Dave, with a touchdown pass.
507, 117. That's all day to throw. Going up top. Looking for Shaq Rowland. It's incomplete.
The crowd wants pass interference on Adonis Armstrong. May have gotten there a little bit early. Here, working working against Shaq Rowland, the talented true freshman. That's just a good football play. Looked like he may have gotten a left arm around the shoulders, but he pulled it away in time before the official saw it.
Shaq Rowland, Mr. Football in the state of South Carolina last year. Over the middle. Nice throw from Thompson over the outstretched hands of the linebackers. And it's Nick Jones right in the numbers. A gain of 17. Agazoo on the coverage.
Well, this game isn't too big for Dylan Thompson. He does not look like a guy making his first start. Look at the touch. Drops it right over the linebacker. And that takes a lot of work to develop touch like that, where you have the confidence to even throw that pass over the middle. You short arm it. Now the linebacker's going to pick it off. It's going the other way.
He'll fake the speed sweep, throw it to the wide side of the field, and well covered in a loose football. They will say he was down. Nick Jones made the catch. Lamar Ivy was there, and I think Ruffin McNeil would like this to be reviewed.
You know what I like about the play calling right now, Steve Spurrier? He realizes that Dylan Thompson's hot, and he's giving him just about every throw. You saw the deep pass down the field intended for Shaq Rowland. He comes back over the middle with a nice touch pass there, a little swing route, just making you play all over the field.
Ruffin McNeil just calls a timeout, Andre, and I think that
It will be 30 seconds.
and he wants this play to be looked at again, which is why he called the timeout.
A chance to talk to his defense and give him a little rest on a muggy afternoon. And here the play's under review, wondering if that knee touches. It's down right there, and then the football comes out. So I'm going to think I think this one's going to be ruled down. That's the knee right there, and then the football comes out. So this one's going to stand as it was ruled on the field.
Well, the importance of this for East Carolina is it's challenged by Ruffin McNeil. So if they win this challenge and they do have the football, he'll get that timeout back. If not, they lose the timeout.
He needs something good to happen right now for his football team. He played a lot of snaps defensively.
Well, there's Dylan Thompson, who is without a doubt the story of this one. Gets the start instead of Connor Shaw, who's got a bad shoulder. And he has led this club to 178 yards on 16 plays. Well, not quite sure what the ruling was. Couldn't hear the mic, but it will be South Carolina.
Yeah, it's confirmed. The ruling on the field was confirmed, so it'll stay South Carolina's ball. It'll be second down here in 8.
And East Carolina loses that timeout. Wayne Winkler, our referee. This is a Conference USA crew today.
We're trying to explain things to Coach McNeil. We know exactly what happened. The timeout is lost, and actually, I was in the middle of saying that it actually gives his defense a chance to rest, because a hot offense, you're hoping to disrupt their rhythm, and then give your kids a chance to rest up here for just a few minutes.
So second down, and let's call it 8. So pressure comes on Thompson, spins out of it. And finally dropped back inside the 45. That'll be a loss of 7. Daniel Drake finally brought him down, but there were 3 or 4 white jerseys that had a chance to get Thompson.
Yeah, that's where the inexperience comes in right there. Trying to run a little rollout. Now, you get away from the first guy, throw it away. Throw it past the line of scrimmage. You're outside the tackle box. Just get rid of the football and avoid the sack.
So now you're looking at 3rd and long, 3rd and 16. Thompson deep down the middle. Pass batted away at the last moment.
There's no doubt in his arm strength. I mean, he can make every throw, and that's what Coach Spurrier told us, is that they're not afraid to shoot it around with Dylan Thompson. It's just how comfortable they could get him and how fast they could get him into that comfort level. And I think he's there. You see there just trying to rip one right down the seam to a receiver. If he catches it, it's a first down.
Tyler Hole, sophomore, averaged 39 yards a kick in the opener and a long of 46 in that one. Spiral aimed toward the near sideline. Fair catch called for by Bodenheimer, and East Carolina's defense stands the test on that possession. A 39-yard punt, and the Pirate offense back on the field. Let's take a look at some of today's loyal fans, brought to you by Hyundai. Go online and show your loyalty to your school at HyundaiShowYourLoyalty.com. Well, Andre, these fans, they are jumping up and down during a 5-6 win campaign. You give them 11 wins, they'll take it to a whole nother level, buddy.
On a couple of seasons in a row, 11 wins, and Spurrier spoiling them a little bit. Now the expectation level has grown to an SEC championship type level.
Pass is caught, but immediately hit was Justin Hardy. Devontae Holloman on that coverage. Give him 5.
Yeah, he's not afraid to go to the middle. That's where he kind of makes his living in this pass attack for East Carolina. Get used to seeing Hardy over the middle of the field making catches.
Johnson over the middle. It looked like he had Hardy around the 35-yard line, but overshot him, looking for Danny Webster.
Well, with zone coverage, one of the few times that he's gotten it, and Lance Ray was sitting outside wide open. So what you do against zone coverage, you win with your eyes as a quarterback. Look the receiver Bodenheimer on his route, and then drop it off outside to Lance Ray, who's standing right along the sideline, right at the first down marker, wide open.
Last week, South Carolina held Vanderbilt to 3 out of 15 on third down conversions.
10 straight passes by East Carolina.
East Carolina 0 for 3 on third down conversions today, and another timeout taken by East Carolina.
East Carolina, their second. It will be 30 seconds.
Let's go back and check out the previous play where it was intended for Andrew Bodenheimer. He's going to come on a skinny post route in here, but then outside, just sitting along the sideline, is Lance Ray. So what you do, zone coverage, take your eyes to the middle, and look at Ray right there, wide open. Right there's the first down marker. He's passed it, just give it to him. Nobody around it.
Lance Ray, a transfer from Arkansas, played a freshman year at Arkansas, was a contributor for the Razorbacks, and went the community college route before finding his way to East Carolina. And he's one of those explosive type players. Had that 90-yard kickoff return in the opener.
It's really an easy game, the passing game. You just got in zone coverage, you win with your eyes, taking and moving defenders. Very few times Rio Johnson going to see zone coverage against a Lorenzo Ward type defense. There are press coverage across the board right here.
Pass dumped off to Webster. He'll be shy of the first down. Davian Clowney nearly had the sack on Johnson.
Take a look at Clowney, lined up at defensive end. You see him here, and you're not going to block him with a running back. Luckily, that football got out, because you saw the big mitt going at the football. Another split second, and it's on the ground. One of my favorites in all of college football right there, Lorenzo Ward. Good, solid football coach.
Rugby style kick. Get a nice East Carolina roll. And that'll go inside the 30-yard line. 44-yard kick, no return. There was Lorenzo Ward, who was on the staff a year ago, got bumped up to defensive coordinator when Ellis Johnson took the head coaching job at Southern Mississippi. And Lorenzo just seems like a perfect fit. Very aggressive defensive coordinator. Aggressive is not a word that you'd use with Ellis Johnson. Sound, fundamental football.
More of a quarters type defense, and now the defensive philosophy or the mindset is it's come after you. Be aggressive. They will blitz you. They will come at you different ways. Not coming from the secondary on blitzes. They're usually right around the line of scrimmage. They say, hey, we're here, block us, but we're coming.
Handoff goes to Lattimore. Not much happening there. Gain of 2. Let's head downstairs. Check in with Kara.
Guys, I expect a healthy diet of Marcus Lattimore on this offensive series. The last 2 series for the Gamecocks, pass heavy. He got a nice rest, and I saw Steve Spurrier come back to number 21 in the break there and say, you ready to go, big fella? I think he is.
Lattimore 5 carries, 16 yards.
I'm going to go too long without giving 21 the football.
Cuts it back as a first down over the 40. Give him 8.
He's close to 100%. It picks up a nice block by Ronald Patrick, the right guard. Going right, there's a bit more explosion than going left because you're cutting off the right knee, going to the right side of the formation. Still not all the way back, almost, but not all the way back going left where he's cutting off that surgically repaired knee.
Little toss sweep, cuts it back inside. Well played by the Pirates. No gain. Lee McGee's, the junior defensive end, and a Wallace, South Carolina makes the play.
There's an example in itself. Going left, not quite the success that he had the previous play.
Well, that'll do it for the first 15 minutes. And what a start for Dylan Thompson. Slinging it around to the tune of 7 out of 11 for 136 yards and a touchdown. Of course, some other great activity going on around the Southeastern Conference, including this Western Division showdown. When we come back, an update from our studio on the Tigers and the Bulldogs.
Matt Schick back in the studio. Some other action going around across the country. Ohio State in a fight against Central Florida. The Knights down 10-3. Blake Bortles to Justin Tukes. 1-yard touchdown catch, tied at 10 in the second. And Mississippi State hosting Auburn. Tyler Russell to Marcus Green. 30 yards. The Bulldogs with a 7-3 edge in the second.
Well, that's going to be an interesting finish. Of course, last year, the great finish. You and I were on hand for the Auburn Mississippi State game.
Yep.
Chris Ralph stopped at the 1-foot line as the clock hit zeros.
We had a few Mississippi State fantastic finishes.
Yeah. 14-0 here in Columbia as we start the second quarter. Thompson flushed out of that pocket, will get what he can and head out of bounds. Gain of maybe a yard. Run out of bounds. Darrell Johnson.
I'd give him an A so far. You know, first start, taking care of the football. The only, red mark I'd give him was taking the sack instead of throwing the football away there in about the middle part of the first quarter. But that is a nice start for Dylan Thompson.
I mean, let's face it, he's 7 out of 11. South Carolina in the opening game against Vanderbilt was 7 out of 15 for the whole game. Now he'll run it. Has a first down at the 47-yard line. Not quite the runner of Connor Shaw, but picks up 11 and moves the chains.
What a nice block by Marcus Lattimore. You're talking about an unselfish player right here. Just freeze it right there. Look at that. That's the best player on your football team taking care of your quarterback. Now, it's not a knockout shot, but it's enough to allow Dylan Thompson to pick up the first down.
Out of the I formation. Lattimore gets a couple to the 45-yard line, brought down by Rose. Big loss for East Carolina up front is Mikhail Brooks, their starting senior nose tackle, has a bum knee that he suffered in week 1, so he is not in there for Ruffin McNeil's defense in that 3-4 alignment. And that's a big loss when you lose your big body in the middle.
Yeah, he had 2 tackles last week, and then he was a Conference USA on that all-freshman team a year ago. So big loss right in the middle of that defense for East Carolina.
And Thompson will slide down.
Smart right there. Feet first. something positive, and then come back here on 3rd down. And that's actually the 7th straight run. And you know, they'd gotten themselves kind of pass happy, as Kara alluded to, and then all of a sudden it was Marcus Lattimore and a few runs here by Dylan Thompson that's put together 7 straight runs by the Gamecocks.
South Carolina 1 out of 3 on 3rd downs.
I think that streak's going to break right here. Dylan Thompson going to throw this baby.
They were 3 out of 12 in the opening game, a 25% clip. Not what Coach Spurrier had in mind on 3rd downs. They will complete it here to Ellington to the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 12. Nice pitch and catch.
And once again, a nice block by Marcus Lattimore that allowed Dylan Thompson the throwing lane to Bruce Ellington. And what I like most about it, he hits him right in stride, outside, away from the defender. Look at the block here by Lattimore. That right there, just enough to give Dylan Thompson the throwing lane to shoot it out to Ellington.
3 catches, 52 yards for Ellington. Over the middle, a little bit high. Looking for D.L. Moore, that 6'5" senior out of Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Well, you know what this performance does for South Carolina? Coming into the game, receivers, they don't know about Dylan Thompson. How's he going to react in the game? So all of a sudden, he completes a couple of balls. Now everybody wants to get in the party. And the routes speed up, their confidence goes up in their quarterback. And everybody running precise routes, giving a lot of different looks and presenting a lot of different targets for Dylan Thompson. It affects the entire football team.
Thompson steps up, going to the near side corner. Pass is caught. Touchdown, D'Angelo Smith. 30-yard reception. He beat Jacoby Jenkins. Great throw, and perhaps an even better grab by Smith.
Right here, just getting right down the field, throws one up, and D'Angelo Smith goes and gets it at its highest point against Jacoby Jenkins. Well, I tell you what, I love this performance by Dylan Thompson. I love when guys rise to the occasion, meeting the challenge.
One after is up and good. South Carolina clicking on offense. Dylan Thompson was 0 for 3 10 days ago in Nashville. I think he likes the friendly confines here at Williams-Brice. He's now 9 out of 14 with 2 TDs. Today's SEC Network game is brought to you by BMW. We only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by the BBVA Compass Bowl, January 5th in Birmingham, Alabama. Well, the celebration continues to this point for South Carolina. Their 3rd touchdown drive. That one went 10 plays, 70 yards, over 4 minutes off the clock. 30-yard touchdown pass to D'Angelo Smith, the junior out of Kingsland, Georgia. His first grab of 2012 goes for 6. How about this? The numbers are just staggering. South Carolina 241 yards, East Carolina 56. Gamecocks averaging over 8 yards per play. East Carolina just 3.5 yards per play. Hard's kick taken by Ray, a few yards deep in the end zone. And Lance gets it out to the 23-yard line. Kenny Miles on the special teams tackle for South Carolina.
Well, Dave, you're just about at that time in a football game, down 21-0, where the game plan starts to see a little adjustment if you're East Carolina offensively. and you need points. And now you got to start trying some different things. A lot went into that game plan, but being down 21, it makes you adjust.
Four-man look from South Carolina. Near side. Pass is caught by Dobson, and he's out over the 25 to the 29-yard line. Give him 6 to Mario Jeffrey on that tackle for South Carolina.
Yeah, and he lost his helmet, so he's going to have to sit out the play. The next play, new NCAA rule. He's got to take a seat. One play, the helmet comes off.
You know, most coaches we've talked to have said that they're in agreement with the rule. One guy that really went off on it this week was Florida State's Jimbo Fisher. He thinks it could be a difference maker late in the game if the player's helmet comes off. Johnson hit. Pass caught by Justin Hardy. He dances around to the 45-yard line of South Carolina. Nice play by Rio to hang in there. Took a shot. They pick up 27.
A nice throw and a nice catch coming back to the football here by Hardy. They're going to speed things up, trying to get some type of rhythm offensively.
Johnson, quick throw again. Here's Hardy.
He's special. He is special. You watch here, Rio Johnson just barely getting the football off. Tremendous amount of pressure, but you know what? In a football game, you know those are coming. You have to be willing enough to stand in there and take a few hits if you're going to play that position.
Dobson back in the game. A little delay handoff.
Boy, just about broke. But the reaction of Jadeveon Clowney disrupting things. He and Gerald Dixon Jr. in there. Watch Clowney get off the football right here. And he reads the draw play, which gets just enough of the jersey to bring down Dobson. Otherwise, it could be into the second level of the defense. Talented football player right there.
Johnson throws it up. Picked off. Inside the 10. Bryson Williams with the interception.
Boy, and once again, the pressure by Clowney into the face of Rio Johnson, not allowing Rio Johnson to step into this throw. The disruption there, the end result, Bryson Williams with the interception for South Carolina sets up the Gamecocks with the football already up 21-0.
Over East Carolina. 9:54 to play in the second quarter. Connor Shaw having to watch this one. And what goes through his mind watching a guy like Dylan Thompson line it up, knowing that you can't play with a bad shoulder?
You want his teammate to have success, certainly, that's taken over for you. But then there's the element of you play good, but not too good. You know what I'm saying? Not being selfish, but he's wishing right now as well that he was still in this football game or on the field.
For the Gamecocks in the 7.
Lattimore with the carry. Marcus gets a couple of yards. That is Lattimore's 9th carry.
You know, and honestly, Dave, I think Dylan Thompson is putting on the type of performance that can alter that position, where it all of a sudden in the minds of the coaching staff and Steve Spurrier Jr., Sean Elliott, the co-offensive coordinators, and G.A. Mangus, the quarterback coach, as well as Coach Spurrier, Steve Spurrier. Maybe, you know, we may be better off with Thompson as our quarterback. It allows us to certainly do more.
4-man rush. Thompson dumps it off to Lattimore. Nice spin move out to the 20-yard line. Picks up 11.
That right there is evidence that the big guy's just about back. I mean, that move right there, little spin move, and Dylan Thompson checking things out. Nobody open down the field. Don't force it, check it down. Look at that. Nice move by Lattimore.
Well, you just watched Dylan Thompson. Confidence was an issue.
It's growing. As the game progresses, growing.
Coach
Big
Berger
time.
telling us that that's one of the things that he wished Dylan would have a little bit more of, is some confidence. Kenny Miles gets that carry. And I guess at a quarterback, if you're not solid mentally, it's got to be tough to play that position.
Well, it's not that, mentally he wasn't there. He's tuned in to every play and knows the offense and things of that sort. You just want a little bit of grit from your quarterback, and that's what they've been waiting on from Dylan Thompson. Take over this baby. Show me something. Show me that you care. Show, you know he can play the game. Just give me a little bit of grit.
Coach said he'd look at him in practice and get on a little bit and hope he'd turn around and
defend himself.
Yeah. Except out of bounds, gets a couple of yards. Lamar Ivy runs him out of bounds. Let's go downstairs and check in once again with Kara.
To your last point, Dave, Steve Spurrier told us Dylan Thompson is just too nice a kid. Tries to get on him, tries to get a reaction, and he just walks away ready to work. Connor Shaw, on the other hand, Spurrier told us, will give him a snarly look once in a while when he takes a beating.
And Coach Spurrier's been known to get on a quarterback or two, right?
You think?
Yeah.
I bet you he's been on Dylan Thompson a few times, as well as he's playing in this football game when he's come to the sideline. It's just part of it.
3rd down and 5. 7.5 to go here in the second quarter. We'll run it on 3rd down, and Kenny Miles driving his way for the first down over the 30. The senior out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, picks up 6 yards.
Kind of going back to that whole quarterback thing. You make a mistake in a football game and you come to the sideline, the coach is chewing you out. I always had that built in. Hey, coach, I'm just trying to make a play. And that every time worked. So, hey, Dylan Thompson's got to put that in his back pocket going forward. Just trying to make a play, coach. Thought I could make that play.
Thompson trying to air it out. Shaq rolling. The true freshman out of Lexington, South Carolina, had man-to-man coverage down that near side and nearly came up with it.
Boy, the defensive coaching staff has high praises for Shaq Rowland, and they work against him every day. They think he is going to be an absolute star.
Parade All-American, rushed for over 2,000 yards, 24 touchdowns as a senior in Lexington, South Carolina. Didn't play in that opener. A little surprised. I think the coaches, when they got back, looked at the tape, were like, we got to get this young man in the ball game.
Yeah, he's a talent. Just got to get him a few catches and let him work with the football in his hands.
Thompson scoots out of bounds. We'll get a couple of yards.
Nice play fake. He had me fooled, and I thought Kenny Miles had the football there.
That glove on the left hand. And did you ever play with a glove as a quarterback?
Never. Not even when it was cold, wet, anything. It's just I wanted to feel the leather of the football.
Thompson trying to catch his breath a little bit. Looks a little winded after the scamper to the right side. 3rd down and 8. South Carolina on 3rd downs today. 3 out of 5. Thompson scrambling around, has a man. It's shook free and passes caught but out of bounds by Rory Anderson.
And just out of bounds. I thought he was going to be able to get 1 foot down, and it was just on the sideline. Nice job buying some time and keeping your eyes down the field. And look at the left foot right there, just on the sideline.
So that'll bring up a punting situation. Here is Tyler Hull. Good coverage kick that will hit at the 32 and take an outstanding South Carolina roll inside the 20, inching closer to the 15. A 50-yard punt. East Carolina will have it. They'll try to get something going offensively. 21-0 South Carolina.
Let's go. To the top, headed to the top. Let's go.
South Carolina trying to head to the top. Ranked 9th in the country, got off to a good start. Wasn't a pretty game, but as Coach Spurrier said to us over and over again, the end result was a win, and a conference win at that, in their opening game. Offense a little bit more settled in here in week number 2. East Carolina trying to get something productive to happen, and that's a good start. Good catch from Justin Jones at 6'8" receiver / tight end. He'll pick up 17.
He's the team's tight end in certain sets. They like to get him out in space, and still trying to speed things up here and get some type of rhythm going.
Johnson stands in the pocket. Another strike. Webster inside South Carolina territory down to the 41-yard line. That's a 17-yard pickup followed by that 26-yard pickup.
Yeah, Danny Webster is kind of a slot receiver that in that Wes Welker mode of Texas Tech, and they try to resemble or kind of resemble that Texas Tech style of offense when Mike Leach was the head coach there. Lincoln Riley kind of tutored under Mike Leach.
Arrington with that catch, and he moves it inside the 35, 6 more yards. You mentioned Lincoln Riley. He was the wide receiver coach at Texas Tech when Mike Leach was running the show, and they brought that exact offense over here to East Carolina.
I think they're kind of caught between two offenses. They want to be a more physical style of offense where you have tight ends. I don't know if Mike Leach even had a tight end on his roster. And then you're caught between wanting to be a little more physical and spending time there, and then wanting to be pass happy. They're caught between both.
That pass is caught. Inside the 15. Solomon lost the handle. And does South Carolina have it? Yes, they do. The true freshman, Jabril Solomon from Hemingway, South Carolina, had a huge pickup inside the 15 and then coughed it up.
Well, just when you get something going offensively, you're going to be down inside your opponent's red zone. As you mentioned, Jabril Solomon, they really feel like he can be a star if he just keeps working. And right here, you start back inside. Number one, ball's in the right hand, cutting back into the inside. Right there, you see the football? That allows it. It's where the defenders are coming and approaching him from, that they're able to get a hand on the football and tap it out. That ball should have been in his left hand on the outside of his body. Reginald Bowens in there to break things free.
Covered up that football for South Carolina. It's a couple of East Carolina turnovers. Lattimore with the carry. Bruising 5 yards for the junior tailback. Justin Dixon in on that tackle. Lattimore now up to 10 carries, 33 yards.
There's something to keep in mind. If they're able to get themselves off the field here, plenty of time to get a score going in to halftime. If you're indeed East Carolina, and we know how fast they can move the football. We just saw it. A couple of big plays, 2 or 3 plays. They're right down the field in the scoring zone. So they're not out of this game by a long shot. But you have to get off the field on third downs, and 50% is South Carolina on third downs here this afternoon.
Lattimore will pick up the first down. He picks up 3 yards. You mentioned his offense. They've had 3 touchdown drives, Andre. The first one went 75 yards. The second one went 71. The last one went 70 yards.
Yeah, last week, Dave, they only had 1 play of over 20 yards. Already in this ball game, 3 completions for over 20 yards. It's just outstanding.
All day to throw. Out over the 35 to the 37 goes Rory Anderson. Gain of 15.
The confidence of Dylan Thompson still growing right here. Sitting in zone coverage, reading it out. And that's the secondary receiver. You see him looking far left and then coming back to Rory Anderson. 6
different players have picked up a reception today. A.C. Sanders with his first, so you can make it 7 Gamecocks with a pass catch today. Today's 1st and 10 line brought to you by your local Toyota dealers.
Not allowing him to do too much thinking, just call the play and go run it.
High throw. Sanders at 5'8", needed to be 6'5". Didn't work. Thompson 12 of 19, 208 on the afternoon. That'll stop the clock at 2:46 to go before halftime. This has been all South Carolina.
Third down for Carolina.
East Carolina, by the way, 6 drives today, 3 punts, a missed field goal, an interception, and a fumble. Thompson immediately tucked it. Almost looked like that was a designed run for Thompson, as he didn't even set up to throw the ball, and that'll bring up a 4th down as Stanley makes the play for the Pirates.
Well, now you have the timeout left for East Carolina, and as well, just you got plenty of time here. You're going to get the football with around 2 minutes left, and we saw how fast they can get themselves down the field. So a score here, and they're right back in this ball game going into halftime.
Bodenheimer calls for a fair catch at the 20-yard line, and the Pirates will have 2:02 on the clock. 38-yard punt. Rio Johnson and this Pirate offense stuck in the mud here in Columbia. See if they got a 4-wheel drive and get them out. Don't forget, we have got more exciting SEC football coming your way next Saturday as we head to the plains of Auburn, as the Tigers play host to the Warhawks of Louisiana Monroe. That's next Saturday at noon Eastern, right here on the SEC Network Game of the Week. And don't forget, coming up after our game here, many of you, most of you, will head to Tuscaloosa as the #1 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide hosts Western Kentucky. So be sure to stay tuned. That one will get started roughly 3:39-ish, 3:38-ish Eastern time. Johnson on 1st down. Pass is caught near the 30. That'll be a 9-yard pickup to Justin Hardy.
Let me tell you, he's got next level stuff. Justin Hardy is about as complete a receiver as I've seen in a long time. Comes back to the football, fabulous out of breaks, and not afraid to go over the middle and make catches.
5 catches, 56 yards for Hardy. Inside handoff to Ventavious Cooper, trying to pick up the 1st down. They'll get it. That'll stop the clock for a moment with 1:28 to go before halftime.
It's a play I thought that should have been run earlier in the football game, almost giving South Carolina's run defense a little bit too much respect. It's only the 2nd run of this football game for East Carolina. Excuse me, the 3rd.
Trying to set up a little middle screen, and it's picked off. DJ Swearinger comes up with the interception, the senior safety out of Greenwood, South Carolina, after some pressure from Jadeveon Clowney, and South Carolina has a chance before half.
Yeah, and watch Clowney. They move him inside in their rabbit package where he's right over the guard, and he gets in the face, kind of clouding the vision of Rio Johnson, and then DJ Swearinger is right there. They're all everything safety, the quarterback of their defense, but that's the guy that just continues to wreak havoc on East Carolina's offense.
2 interceptions and a fumble for the South Carolina defense.
Both of them because of the play of Jadeveon Clowney.
Dobson trying to find some running room, and he'll lose a yard. Timeout taken by South Carolina, and Thompson comes over to Coach Spurrier. Pat on the chest for his quarterback, getting the start today. If you just joined us, Connor Shaw just couldn't go with a bum shoulder, a bruised shoulder, and so on the way into the stadium this morning, Coach Spurrier announces that Dylan Thompson will get the start. Coming up on the C Spire halftime report, we will get an update from Starkville. Auburn and Mississippi State going at it. Of course, Missouri and Texas A&M open up their SEC slate this afternoon and tonight, and we'll have top 25 highlights for you coming up in the C Spire halftime report. About 1:05 to go on the game clock here. On a hot,
and humid. Add that word in there as well. It is that it's not dry heat for sure. Heavy. It is. You walk down on the field and it is just unbelievably hot.
Thompson sets up a screen to Lattimore, and he is hammered by a couple of white jerseys. That didn't take long for the Pirates to read that one out. Johnson led the charge.
And he's their best pass rusher from the outside. He moved from defensive end to outside linebacker. And their new 3-4 look and can just make some plays.
Here's Ellington trying to make a play. He'll get it down to the 26-yard line. That's a gain of 11, but he's about 3.5 yards shy of the first down. Maurice falls with the tackle.
Well, maybe you think about going for it here. Adam Yates is a new kicker for South Carolina. Coach Spurrier going to go for it.
Near side pass is caught by Jones and then dropped. Started to run before he had complete control, and Coach Spurrier just took his headset off, and it was there.
Well, I mean, it was there. Nick Jones, who caught a pass earlier in this game, he had the first down. Just could never secure the football. Which here, nice play call. You get Cunningham out in front to block, and really didn't even need the block if you just start upfield. But first things first. That's why you catch the football right there with your hands. You allow it to get to your body and chest. Young receivers watching, that bad things happen. And there's a good example.
13 seconds to go before halftime. I gotta think overall, Coach Spurrier, we will find out in a moment when Kara catches up to the head coach. I gotta think he's more than pleased with the performance of Dylan Thompson. Justin Hardy picking up some yardage, and that'll probably do it for the first half here in Columbia. A good 30 minutes of football for South Carolina. They rack up 304 yards of offense, 216 through the air. A couple of touchdown strikes from Dylan Thompson, and the Gamecocks lead at 21-0 here at home in the opener of 2012. Let's go downstairs, check in with Kara.
Coach, what's your first half assessment of Dylan Thompson?
We've punted 5 times, had a lot of opportunities, but we've hit some balls too, so we're ahead, but I wish we were playing a little bit better here in the second quarter anyway.
What specifically would you like to see in the second half?
Block somebody, run a little bit better, no sacks, things like that. Our defense is getting some turnovers, but other than that, they've actually moved the ball pretty decently on us.
We'll watch for it. Thanks, Coach. Dave, he's never satisfied.
Never. And that's why he is the second winningest coach in the SEC. 117 conference wins, only trails Bear Bryant. First half is in the books. South Carolina leading it by 3 touchdowns. Time for us to head to our studios. Matt, it's all yours.